Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Muhammad Asif and my group member is Naman Ansar Khan, and the presentation topic was assigned to us was integrated and flexible data management for cloud social network service platform on campus. And the content we have to discuss are the purpose to develop it, introduction to social networking, categories to social networking, multi-domain cloud social network service platform, how to make it cloud, data management and its working, data mapping services, data access services, data maintenance, database schema maintenance services. Then we start the reason to perform it. And so as we know, the social networking or the social network service is considered to be the representative of the new generation and internet applications. Campus social network service is a special type of the enterprise social service cloud social network service platform on the campus, provides information communication, knowledge sharing and the online collaboration services to the campus users in the different aspects of the college and the universities through the multiple social domains. In this presentation, we have to discuss about the design and implementation of the data management in the platform, which is performed by the domain data manager. Integrated and the flexible data management gives the cloud social network platform better scalability and maintainability. In order to do this, we first divide data spaces of the platform into the logical data spaces and the physical data spaces. Then we set up the data mapping model between the two data spaces, and finally build up the four services in the domain data manager. In respect to introduction, social network service has attracted billions of the internet users to provide the online communication beyond the limitation of the geography, culture and the time, according to the scope and characteristics. According to the scope and the characteristics of their target user, social networks or service, and we generally divide it into the three categories. And these three categories are the public network, vertical social network and enterprise social network. The first category is the public network service, such as the Facebook, and the second category is the vertical social network service, such as LinkedIn for professional, and for third category enterprise social network service is such as the behavior in just like in IBM of the users of the same organization. Campus social network service is a social type of the enterprise social network service which focused on the providing the information communication, knowledge sharing and especially the online collaboration services to the campus user in the colleges and the universities, because information communication, knowledge sharing and the online collaboration in the different aspects of the college and the universities are relatively independent. We use a multi-domain cloud social network service platform to support them in the form of the cloud service. The platform is an essential and important part of the private cloud service platform in the colleges and the universities. Further, we have to discuss the multi-domain cloud social network platform. Multi-domain cloud social network service platform provides the social network service to the multiple different aspects of the colleges and the universities simultaneously through multiple independent social domains. Typical social domains include the university administration social domain, online learning social domains, research collaboration social domains and communication social domains. But If there are common users in multiple social domains, they can switch between the multiple social domains conveniently while having multiple independent person social network. Multi-domain social network service platform can be divided into three parts: social domains, domain data manager, and data spaces. I have an example to show you all the social domains, domain data manager, and data spaces. In this case, we have three social domains. Number one is here, and the second social domain is here, and the number three social domain is this. In these social domains, the end users and the management, and the second one is the domain data manager, and rows the data spaces. Okay, first of all, we will see that what are the social domains. Social domains refers to the application space which support the information, communication, knowledge sharing, and online collaboration of campus users in independent fields. Okay. Domain data manager. If we discuss the domain data manager is responsible for the data management in the platform. It provides the data access service, data maintenance service, database schema maintenance service, and data mapping service to the social domains. Data access service receives the access request to logical data space, process the request, and return the desired data to the requester. Data maintenance service process change the data of the logical data space into change the data of the physical data space. On the third number, if we discuss data space, data space keeps the user data and the system data of the platform in the logical data space and physical data space. Logical data space provides the data view from the aspect of the single social domain. Physical data space keeps the detail of how data of the different social domains is stored in actual database, and contains the common data space for all the social domains and independent domains data space for the each social domain. Now, data mapping model between the logical data space and physical data space. As we have already discussed about the data spaces, now I will show the physical and the logical data spaces. First of all, I will discuss the data mapping modes. There are data mapping mode. There are basically three mapping modes in the application. First is the single mapping, and second is merged mapping, and the third one is the separate mapping. Okay, data mapping. If we take about the data mapping example, if we talk about the data mapping examples, then I have a picture to show you the data mapping example. Here it is, and you can see that here we have the 4 tables in logical data space and some tables in the physical data spaces, and we can see that there are 4 data tables in the logical data space and 3 social domains in the examples. The 4 data tables are mapped to the 8 data tables in the physical data spaces. You can see that it's 4 and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have these 8, 6, and these 2 8. So these the 4 data tables are mapped to the 8 data tables in the physical data space. That data of the table A in the logical data space is shared by the 3 social domains. It is mapped to the table A in common data space of physical data space through the single mapping. Here is the single mapping. I can show you. Here is the single mapping. The table A with the table A of the logical data space with the table A of physical data space. And if we see the further, then there are the different records for the table B, table C, and table D in different social domains. And the number of the records in table C and table D are the much larger than the table B, because we can see that the table B is connected with the table B. Normally, if we see that table C is connected with the 3 tables of physical data space, which is the table C1, table C2, table C3, and the table D is connected with, also connected with the 3 tables, table D1, table D2, and table D3. And whenever we consider table B is connected with lesser table, which is connected with is size of the tables are equal, but these are merged. So this is all the structure that the logic between the logical data space and the physical data space. Further, we can talk about the data mapping methods. In data management in multi-domain cloud social network service platform, social network service platform is performed by the domain data manager. Domain data manager consists of the 4 services: the data access services, data maintenance services, database schema maintenance services, and the last one is data mapping services. The purpose of the data management in the platform is to keep the flexibility of the data storage while providing the integrated interfaces to the access, data maintenance, and database schema maintenance. In other words, the responsibility of the domain data manager is to realize the integrated and flexibility in data management. The further that we will discuss the types of discuss the services, and first of all we will discuss the data mapping services. Data mapping service is the basic service of the other 3 services. It manages how data table of the logical data space is actually stored in the data tables of the physical data space, and process query request for the mapping information. Requests received by the data mapping service are in the form of physical SQL is equal to mapping query, and logical SQL and domain code are the references. Logical SQL refers to the query statement of the logical data space. Domain code refers to the social domain that the query is used for. After data mapping service receives the request, it firstly exact data table name in the SQL. Then the service transforms the SQL into the physical SQL and returns it. The physical SQL refers to the query statement of the physical data space. During the process of transformation, the service will use the mapping information of data tables. Further, we have data access services. Data access services that access requests to the logical data space, process and request, and returns the desired data to the requester. Especially The process consists of the three steps. Firstly, it transfer the data access request to the logical data space to data access requests for the physical data space using the data mapping service. Then it processes the data access request for physical data space to get the desired data. Finally, it returns the desired data to the requester. By this way, we can provide the integrated data access interface by hiding the details of the data storage to the platform developers. Besides, the service is also responsible for the analysis of the data access, which collects the history of the data access and generates the reports of the platform administrator. By this way, platform administrator can make the reasonable decision on optimizing the data mapping modes of the data tables. Further, the data maintenance services. If we talk about the data maintenance services process modification to the data in the logical data space into the modification of the data in physical data space. It receives data modification requests to the logical data space, transforms them into data modification requests to physical data space, and implements the modification in the physical data space. According to the different data mapping modes that different data tables adopt, data maintenance service use the different procedure to process the data modification request. For data tables using the single mapping mode, data modification request and to logical data space can be directly implemented in the physical data space. For data table using the merged mapping mode, each data modification request to the logical data space will be transformed into the data modification request to the physical data space. As I have talked about all the situations, all the for the single mapping, merged mapping, and separate mapping, and the further is the database schema maintenance services. These services are responsible for the management of the modification to database schema. It receives the data schema modification request to the logical data space, transforms them into the data schema modification request, and implement the modification in physical data space and maintain the data mapping information if necessary. There are three types of the database schema maintenance services. The first type of the database schema maintenance services concern the structure modification to the data table of the logical data space, such as the changing of the type of data field, adding or deleting of the data field, etc. The second type of the database schema maintains the service concerned adding or deleting of the data tables in the logical data space. The third type of the database schema maintains the service concern modification of the mapping modes of the data tables in logical data spaces. For example, when the amount of the record in table exceeds the maximum expected value, we may want to change the mapping modes of its form, merge the mapping into the separate mapping to achieve the faster data access speed. Yeah, that's all about the presentation, and the last we will discuss some summary on the conclusion, and we'll review all the presentation. And okay, we see the cloud social network service platform on the campus provides the information, communication, knowledge sharing, and online collaboration services to the campus user in the different aspects of the colleges and universities to the multiple social domains. In order to keep the flexibility of the data storage while providing the integrated interfaces for data access, data maintenance, and database schema maintenance. We design and implement the domain data manager in the platform. Domain data manager is built on two design ideas of the platform. The first design idea is to separate the data space of the platform into the logical data space and physical data space. The second design idea is to set up the data mapping model between logical data space and the physical data space. The data mapping model consists of the three mapping modes: single mapping modes, merged mapping, and the separate mapping. It describes how data kept in logical data space is actually stored in the physical data space. Domain data manager consists the data access services, data maintenance services, and database schema maintenance services, and the last one, data mapping services. The latter three services are built upon the first services. With all the above consideration, we can achieve the integrated and the flexible data management that gives the platform the ability to optimize the data storage to achieve the faster data access speed without any modification to the code of the platform. In a word, it makes the platform more scalability and maintainability. So thanks to all of you for watching this video. Allah Hafiz. Oh, what?